Within the southernmost archipelago of Dalmatia is one of the most fascinating harbour cities of the young Republic of Croatia, Dubrovnik, a Mediterranean city with a great history. This, the Pearl of the Adriatic, was founded in the 7th century. The city of stone had its heyday in the Middle Ages and was one of the most important economic and cultural centres in the Mediterranean. An ancient courtyard gate leads to the Old Town and to Lucha Square, the city's main square that contains a fine clock tower and a splendid palace loggia. The 16th century Sponza Palace consists of a combination of designs, including both Gothic and Renaissance, and once contained the Customs House and Mint. Despite much foreign rule, the city largely succeeded in being autonomous. Its well-conserved historic monuments attract growing numbers of visitors. Close by is the magnificent Baroque Velika Gospa Cathedral, which was built between 1672 and 1713 on the ruins of a Romanesque basilica. According to legend, Richard the Lionheart was shipwrecked here on his return from the Third Crusade, and his financial donation made it possible to build the city's first church. The interior impresses with its mighty dimensions and remarkable main nave and light-filled dome. Numerous niches with Baroque figures and beautiful paintings adorn the chapels of the two side naves. Mary's Ascension was created in the workshop of Titian. Founded as the Roman settlement of Ralsium in the 7th century, the city was inhabited by the fleeing people of nearby Epidaurus. Ragusa fell under the protection of the Byzantine Empire until the 12th century. In 1205, the city was conquered by the Venetians. However, despite the dominance of the Serenissima, normal trade continued. From the land side, the Pila Gate leads through the fortified city wall into the historic centre. This is the location of the small Gothic St. Spas Chapel and wonderful Onofrio Fountain. An abundant source of fresh spring water that supplied the city's population. Beyond is a Franciscan church that was rebuilt following an earthquake. It was the Great Earthquake of 1667 which destroyed many buildings, although when rebuilt, they were even more beautiful than before. Only the marble pulpit has survived. Everything else had to be rebuilt. Solemn Baroque surrounds the tomb of city poet Ivan Gundulic. The adjoining Malabraka Monastery was built in the 14th century the oldest part of it being a splendid cloister. This shady courtyard is framed by 60 splendid stone columns. In Europe's oldest pharmacy, the monks mixed elixirs, at first for personal use, but later for the people. The Monasteries Museum contains impressive examples of medieval stone carving, from images to capitals. Stradun is the name of the historic centre's lively main street. It travels in the straight line of the original marshy channel that once separated the island from the mainland. What follows next is a must for anyone new to Dubrovnik. The climb to the historic city walls from where there's a marvellous view of the surroundings. From the 13th century, the city was fortified with powerful walls that now rank among the largest and also the most beautiful in the whole of Europe, and from where the city can be surveyed. The mighty defensive walls and their massive towers protected the city, while it grew into a thing of great beauty. Beyond the city walls were built additional forts, such as those of Lovrenjak and Revelen. Ragusa was subsequently named Dubrovnik, and due to its magnificent location, unique old town and beautiful buildings, it has become tantamount to a work of art. The city wall with its 15 towers and bastions is walkable over almost its entire length of 2 kilometers. Only by walking along it, with all of its ups and downs, can one understand its ingenious structure. 6 feet thick and up to 25 meters high. Various hostilities repeatedly had to be fended off. First the Arabs, then the Normans, Byzantines, Venetians, Hungarians, Turks, and finally Napoleon. Famous architects such as Michelozzi, Juraš Dalmaničić, and Antonio Ferramolino created this structure over a period of many centuries. Constantly changing trade alliances and wars that shook Europe in the 18th century accelerated the eventual downfall of the city, particularly when, in 1808, Napoleon formally abolished its autonomy.